All right, we can call this meeting to order. Who we missing? Or do we have anybody? We got Elliot via Zoom. Hello, sir. Good to see you. Who else do we, is that our only Zoom?
That's the only one.
Okay, so we're missing
Lonnie,
John, Lonnie,
Jenna,
and, Mr. Sorensen.
Chris.
Chris, yeah.
John, Patrick.
Yeah,
Right,
I just sent an email out.
Yeah,
this
so he
morning.
probably wasn't ready.
Still making shift.
Alrighty, do we have any announcements? Any comments, questions from our community member? Alright. Oh, hello, Mr. Sir.
I will share, I brought a copy of INBO's publication, Bike Parks. I'll move that around the table so you can take a look at how they think about bike parks. Which, it's INBO's International Mountain Bike Associations. They have 3 or 4 good publications. One is, working with Experience Trails of BLM. They're joining with BLM, then they have one on, the first one, building sweet single track, and then that third one on bike parks. Pretty good publications, most people follow those.
Do we have any changes to be made to the minutes of the October 30th meeting? Also, thank you very much, Tim, for doing a fantastic job on that. I don't know what kudos are worth, but you get 3.
And once those minutes are approved, if you get them to me, I'll make sure they get posted on the website.
Alrighty, do we have consensus on those minutes? Anyone not agree with how they are written? Alrighty, consensus has been reached, then we can move on to review and approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any changes that they would like to bring forth to the agenda right now, or are we okay with it as written? All right, I'll take silence as consensus. And moving on to agenda item number 1, we have discussion and agreement on existing conditions for village recreation trails and amenities.
So this is a quick agenda item. It's really taking a look at, Paul, what was put together from last meeting, the sticky notes we all put together. I did see this morning that Patrick did send an update on where the kiosks were, but we're looking for comments, additions, changes, edits to our list so we can kind of finalize this and put it into some maybe a different narrative type format or something easier to digest, which we'll share with the comprehensive plan committee next week. Some thoughts on our existing conditions.
I know one of them was identifying which trails are the villages, right? That's gonna be an issue. We can get that hashed out. That was one of the big roadblocks, isn't it?
Potentially, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is, we've got it on hiking trails, has village trails listed with an asterisk on a couple of them. Showing the complexities of the ownership issue.
When I was putting this together for the sticky notes, one thing I was struggling with, and Shay's not here, so she may have to be the one to help it on that. Financial resources on the page 5, financial resources and also staffing. I don't think I've got that exactly. What it needs to say. We had thrown out some numbers, but I don't, like the $300 lottery tax, is that a balance of funds or that?
Yeah, good questions.
And then the 600,000 in sports recreation fees, again, is that something that's just a balance that's been accumulated over years? And then I think one thing we wanted to know was, is there just an annual budgeted amount for trails and recreation? I think these numbers I've got are kind of accumulated balances and not what the budget is, say, for the year. And then staffing, I wasn't clear what we had, you know, so Shay's the director, and I guess she has one full-time staff at the community center. Is what I took, and then 2 to 3 seasonal staff for summer camps there, and then they just share employees with public works for maintenance, and I'm not, that's correct. Glad I've got that described.
I think we kind of talked about pay periods or allocation of time for public works towards Rec-Bill.
Yeah,
We didn't go into much detail, but
Right.
it would be a little bit more helpful.
yeah, so I think if we could get that a little more.
Anything else on existing conditions? Ellie, did you get a chance to look over existing conditions report?
Can't figure it out.
There's Chris coming on too.
I did see it and I have nothing to add.
Okay, thank you. Chris,
Yeah.
anything on existing conditions?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
Good
I wanna
morning.
thank Tim for putting this all together from those stickies. I think this is an amazing piece of work. I hope it's aligned with what we're supposed to be putting out, but I kudos again for that.
Let's spin them all in one place.
Yeah.
Under resort trails, should we include enlightenment? So within the,
Is, yeah, but I guess it's
It's more of like a feeder to the bike park though than just,
feeder to the bike park?
mhm. I mean, do people just go up Enlightenment to go down Enlightenment?
Heck yeah. But no, you can't go down it. You can only go up. You
Wait,
can
I
only
mean,
go up.
But you.
oh, I didn't, I've
It's
never,
a hiking.
I always just go up it to ride the bike park
no,
when
it's
it's
a popular
closed.
hiking, it's a popular hiking.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
very
Okay.
popular.
And they do hike it both ways.
Yeah, and
Okay.
the truckers do it quite often.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting, that's,
I do it about once a year.
yeah, up and down.
Did you go all the way to the top?
That's a good question. It seems like we focus mostly on the greenbelt trails, which were outside of the
I mean, I guess, yeah,
bike park boundary per se.
yeah, and then the map, the map here doesn't show enlightenment. It just has the other greenbelt trails and the village trails. I mean, it is I guess the resort probably doesn't consider it a greenbelt trail, but it is a hiking trail.
Right.
It's not an AFCO. The resort greenbelt trails there's some connection with those in AFCO, right? I think AFCO funds the maintenance.
It's together, I really, on anything that is maintained with the resort,
But I don't think AFCO would have anything to do with enlightenment.
not.
Would they have anything to do with Costa Vista?
I mean, that would
That's
all
not really
be,
out code.
Well,
The only one we were questioning was this one right here, right, was APCO, the one that needs the bridge.
well, no, I guess,
What was that?
well, what's the connection between, resort trails and AFCO? My understanding was,
Fund some of it.
AFCO funds the maintenance
And improvements.
of the resort greenbelt trails. But I mean, it's still resort, I mean, the
Right.
resort gives money to AFCO gives it back.
right, yes,
Maintain
to
those
help
trails.
maintain, yes, yes.
I don't think any of the money that AFCO gives back goes to maintenance probably of enlightenment. It's probably just.
I do not think so, I think that's a Patrick question for sure, but my understanding when I was still working up there is like the bike park Enlightenment was part of the bike park. It was maintained by us and funds of the bike park were used for it.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with AFCO. But that doesn't necessarily mean it can't be on the list. I mean,
Right,
Cause the bike park's public, not a member, more of a public to remember.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other thing though, there are signs at all the Greenbelt trails that say these trails are for use by resort members and guests.
Right,
Yeah.
right, which,
Who is a
I,
guest?
I know anybody can use them. I just-
Well, at one time it used to say resort members and their guests.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now the signs just say resort members and guests. I don't know if APCO has a position on that's open to the public. I mean, they are used by the public,
Right.
but it is an APCO, the Greenbelt trails are an APCO amenity.
Yes,
Um,
yeah, that's part of what number.
you know, that's supposedly what our dues,
Right,
one of the amenities that our dues get.
Yeah.
yeah.
But in a way, they're open to the public. I
So,
guess.
so maybe we need a clarification on top of this. It's not just hiking trails, but it's hiking, biking, walking, whatever, and it says,
It's
trails that
recreation.
are, yeah, trails that are, funded, managed by the village, the resort, with an APCO somehow. So it shows their, a mutual relationship somehow. That's what we're after, right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, but I guess, but then it comes down to is enlightenment, something we would show.
Well, I'm thinking not, if we just say these are, the trails on this list are the ones that are either village, resort, that are, funded or supported through APCO. Because we're thinking enlightenment is just strictly resort.
Right. It would be nice to get it on that map.
It would be nice, and I mean, the bike park is part of, you know, the membership dues, obviously. and
right.
stuff, and
It's
so
a
you think
recreation.
Enlightenment would be part of that,
So when people come, they know that that trail's
yeah,
there.
yeah,
But then you get, well, I mean, all these trails are also bike trails, so if you're gonna show enlightenment, then you would have to show all the other bike. I mean,
Well, all you have to
bike-
do is
bike- bike
attach,
park.
just
I mean,
attach the bike.
There is
park
a
now,
separate
too.
bike park.
Yeah.
Mountain bike park map that shows it.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
that-
sure.
Okay, yeah.
and that
But-
might,
You
Try
just
to
see, yeah, you
squeeze
could
it.
just put
There
something
you
as
go.
simple as like see Angel Fire Bike Park
Yeah.
map
I mean,
for
there you
full
could,
list of trails.
Yeah.
And the winter skiing.
enlightenment is
it
not
is,
show,
nice,
cause
it
it's,
is that
you
part,
have
like,
this whole
I
map,
would
just
consider that like medium,
one trail.
you know,
Meeting the
like,
hard way.
the
Oh,
enlightenment.
Oh,
For hockey.
Oh, yeah,
Hiking.
yeah.
it's horrible to pedal up.
So
hard.
if it's Greenbelt Trail System, this pretty much captures everything that's on our. list,
Right.
Right, so,
Right, yeah.
okay, I think we should stick with Greenbelt Trail System for our purposes.
I'm okay with that.
It's the intermediate.
Okay. Anything else on this list? Move on, I think.
Okay. Moving on then to item 2, discussion on the narrative that the village staff has prepared for the Frank Young Extension Trail Plus grant, so the grant application can be submitted by 12/30/2024.
So we haven't heard anything from Carl, I guess, as far as progress on the surveys. And with that, we would probably want to ask the village to go ahead and write up verbiage to present to the CS Ranch and the resort. We're there probably, I guess.
Right, but we also asked the village to hopefully by this meeting have a narrative of the Trails Plus grant completed, so we could start helping edit or suggest changes or improvements to the grant application. So the question is, do we have a narrative available for Trails Plus grant?
It's close, okay, it's gonna be there.
Well,
I have enough information. And just so you know, the November 26th council meeting is canceled. So the next time to bring it up to council is gonna be the 10th of December. I believe near 100% that it's gonna be perfect enough time to get the grant in before the 30th.
including our opportunity to review that before it goes to council, since we're the advisory committee for the village.
We'll give you that before the 10th.
So we're running out of time though, to have
We are.
meaningful conversation about that grant application.
Yeah, a lot of the narrative is there, okay? It's there. I just haven't printed out a list so that you can see what the narrative is at this point.
But that's what we asked for.
I'm sorry?
That's what we asked for.
I know, but it's an online application. And the online application doesn't give us that easy way to print it out.
But you can share the link with everyone here on that online application. That's why Cheryl share that.
I could share that link, yes, yeah. And I was kind of waiting on the easements because that's the mandatory, I mean, that's required.
Understood. Understood. Okay. Well, I'm worried that we've been talking about this in September. We let the first deadline go and now we're close to losing the second deadline, so then we're into March.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty challenging to even meet the December
Yeah,
one with the easements.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, it's realistically, is Carl gonna have that done, and then those have to go to the resort, it's to
We may
look
not
at,
even make
they have to
March.
go to CS Ranch.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I would,
extensive.
yeah,
I'm,
What are
Right,
the,
we
what are
could
the
have done
issues
our
with
part
those?
of having the narrative reviewed, make sure it's what.
Oh, sure.
voted For.
sure.
What are the issues with those easements? I mean, just no response from the folks or?
No, I think we were waiting on the surveys to get done so that we can present.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, we were waiting on, to get the actual survey to present those to the CS Ranch and
In the resort.
the resort. I think that's where we're
I
at.
just wanted to tell you, Carl was working on the surveys on Monday. I saw him out there working on it. So each, I don't know, week maybe.
Yeah. Hey, and then,
That's
so,
where he's dropping.
well, 2 seconds of that too is, I think we're at the point to be able to write something up for the CS Ranch and the resort.
Well, they're gonna want the resort wants the surveys because they wanna know exactly where the trail's gonna go.
Yeah, so we're real close to that.
The CS Ranch is not as particular. They just want something written up to know how they're gonna cross that property. Are they gonna be opening, closing gates? Are we gonna put stiles in? Or what's the mode of transportation across their property? They want that defined.
Yeah,
And then we're gonna have to adhere and we'll be responsible. Like if we do gates and somebody leaves the gate open and cows get out, it's our problem.
exactly.
If we do stiles, it's not gonna be ADA compliant. Not that we're going for ADA on this trail, but just realize stiles are a challenge for older people and, you know.
We are going to ADA on this trail.
You are going ADA.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to do stiles out.
But we believe though that trail can be closed for that period of time when the cattle are here.
yeah, that's the only time they want the gates closed, I mean, it seemed like to me, we could actually lock them.
Right.
So that's something, I didn't realize that. That's something that you're gonna have to work out with,
CS Ranch.
CS Ranch.
So what I'm trying to get at though is that will we have the village write up those agreements for the
Yes.
resort and?
We'll have to write some up. And one thing we did talk about, back in 2019, when I was, working with Mr. Davis on this is to have, gates that are on each end, that when the gates open, they touch and close off. So
Yeah, we went out and met, it's 150 foot.
that's a lot.
Yeah, so that,
Okay.
I mean, if it was 60 foot, I could see it. It
Yeah.
could probably work, but 150 foot between fences.
Our objective is that because cattle are there twice a year, maybe for a short period of time, that we could easily close the trail
Yeah.
for a week or 2 weeks. And
We'll just need to have an agreement where they have to notify us and give us 30 days advance notice or whatever is reasonable that they'll agree to.
Yep.
And then we can close the trail for that, but that'll have to be in the MOU that we come up with.
So that's part of the delay, we're trying to, it doesn't seem realistic to meet a December 30th deadline for the grant. Because that's one of the stipulations we're gonna need is those approvals for these easements.
I would push for it.
Well, we're gonna try.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy to meet. But, just because, if we have to go to legal counsel, that's gonna take 2 weeks. To do anything with legal counsel.
I mean, while we're waiting for Carl to complete the surveys, I mean, can we go ahead and get
Oh, yeah.
these documents, these agreements drafted?
If y'all want to just put down a rough draft of what y'all want in writing and I'll send it to legal counsel, we'll get them to write up an MOU.
Perfect.
And I'll work with councilman and legal counsel to make sure we have everything included.
Okay. Great. Thanks for stopping in.
Okay, sorry.
Thanks, sir. So in action is a draft. An agreement that, for American Creek properties.
I can get the actual easement that's already in place. go off of. It would probably just be a rewrite of basically the verbiage, not just utility easement, but a pedestrian easement. I don't know what the verbiage would be.
On Lady Slipper, how it has that, like, to go through. you know,
Oh, the little
that strip.
chicane.
Is that to keep cows out too? Like, what is that?
I thought, yeah, I thought so.
Cause that's a different, that's the first I've ever seen that here. But that would be no
That's a
closing
good-
of gates or
yeah, that's-
anything. I mean, it's just that,
Yeah.
That's
Hard
a
for
good
ADA,
idea.
yeah, cause there's one of those.
is it hard for
Up
ADA
at-
to get?
Going in.
Okay.
You need a wheelchair or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's one like that.
Oh, that's right, it would be.
Okay,
Aren't those really more for ATVs? to keep them out?
yeah, it's,
Single
yeah,
file, of course.
yeah.
That's not ADA.
What was that, Chris?
Well,
gonna be-
I thought there were more to keep ATVs out and things like that.
Repeat that?
ATVs.
Oh. It could be to keep ATVs out of those things too, instead of bollards.
That makes sense.
So will will you suggest to American Creek Properties that, we're proposing 2 30-foot green, that 8 or 10-foot green gates on either side of that?
There's no
easement
big
that
deal
could
with that, we'll
be,
just go ahead and write it up.
write it up that way that, cause give us 2 weeks notice?
Pretty much what, he discussed with me anyway, was
Okay.
those cattle gates.
Yeah,
I mean, and that would be the minimum. We could maybe do something nicer, but at least get that agreement.
right. And maybe suggest 2 weeks notice to the village to, enact a trail closure for us to announce it and say it's closed for 10 days or however it takes you long to move cattle.
Sure, yeah. And the
Not
good
to
thing
exceed
is,
2
it's
weeks.
shoulder season, usually
Yeah.
we do it, so it's like April or May and then October or November.
Okay.
So I'll
You're gonna do that?
I'll get the actual agreement that's currently in place, the easement agreement. I think we'll get the same for the resort. I'll get both of those to y'all. If I can find them. I think we can find them. You can find them if I can.
So if I understand the timeline correctly now, the next time that we would hopefully, if the stars align and the gods favor us, at that next meeting on 12/10, we could have hopefully survey easements, narratives, and we could actually sit down and try to get the grant. Is that what our goal is right now?
I'd like to add that the narrative can be in way before the 10th.
Okay,
Great.
It'll be, I mean, I can give you the link today of what I've got. I had a little trouble with the maps, I needed to understand, cause I couldn't get, Google.
Well, I think most of us are willing to help you think,
Yeah.
since we know this and think this, help you with the
Well-
narrative. Sometimes you think it's clear, but it's not clear to Carl
Exactly.
Polonius and
That's exactly what it is.
where, and where.
I learned a lot here, listening to you guys, is what the trails review used for, cause I have a lot of questions in that regard.
Absolutely, yeah,
I've done a lot of check marks on how, is this for bikers, is this for hikers, is this for,
yeah.
and I've done all that. So I could get you the links, by tomorrow, close of business
That'd be
tomorrow. And I'll add any additional information that I've gathered now to that narrative.
Okay,
And then, you guys could feel free to add stuff.
thank you,
Change
Rocky.
yeah,
That's
thank you. I think with getting that link, we should make a priority before our next meeting to all spend 10-15 minutes on that. And that way we can come and so that at our next meeting, it's not let's sit down and talk about this. It's let's pick and choose the good ideas that best fit each section to help speed that along. Does that sound doable?
Yeah, and I really think we ought to push on 30. If we, we can do it, we just keep losing time. So we gotta set a deadline and push the resort, push Carl, push CS Ranch, push village staff to get this stuff done.
And I might want to add too, that if you have some momentum in getting those, in getting the easement documents together or whatever, the agreements between CS Ranch and the resort, and you feel like we've got some momentum going, and you don't want to wait till December 10th, you could propose a special council meeting if you like.
Sure.
And, with a couple, at least a few days' notice to give the councilors some time to get here. And we could have a special, meeting and get that approved. It's a thought.
Basically, Yeah, I'll stay positive, but it's gonna take well past December to get the easements completed.
Do you need to have easements or just
You
understand?
just need to have.
I don't know.
We have to have,
We don't have
they're
that.
asking for,
Recorded easements?
they want them, they, you know, that's a direct question that you'll see it in the link.
'Cause I think we were thinking at first we were just gonna get like agreement that they were gonna grant an easement. You know, the resort.
If we just have a
and-
letter, that's what I thought.
That's all they want, but they ask the question, do you own the property, do you have easement through the property, all that? And then if you say yes, then they say upload supporting documents.
And we upload a letter.
So we upload I think we upload the letters that say that, legal counsel from American Creek Properties and the village are in agreement on pursuing this easement, it's in process. I think the state would accept that. So I think we submit documentation that says it's in process. If it's not finalized by that time, that's probably,
Your best shot.
because all we're applying for at this point is engineering and design.
Engineering,
of
We would
construction.
almost include the legal part also. the
It
legal
would, but-
Expense, which I mean, if we don't get the grant approved, we probably wouldn't you wouldn't go through and get the recorded easements probably at that.
That may be a really valid point, yeah. I think if we push this way, as far as engineering design, we're not intending any construction of the first grant. That's gonna say, the state's gonna say, okay, they're working on all the proper steps. This is gonna help advance this process. So I think we'd be okay.
Okay.
Very good. So the state uses Submittable, is that what they're using, submittable.com, the application process?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay,
What, there's a reason why you asked that?
I'm familiar with it, I've tried to
Oh,
work
I
on it in
see.
the past.
Okay.
I get people to use it as a process. So it's the whole purpose is that others can work on grant applications together and not have
Oh, okay.
to have a Google Doc or Word submittable next to, as you review.
To get the link, I think, when you get on the link, I think you have to put in a brief, registration information just to get into.
That's fine. Okay,
So I'll commit to that by close of business tomorrow.
okay, so 2 actions on this. Jeff's gonna work on the easement and language for the letter perhaps that CS Ranch or American Creek and the village would agree to.
I can forward you the previous letter.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay,
Cause yeah, we had letters from the resort and CS Ranch before,
Okay,
back in 2019 or whatever.
and then, who can convey to Patrick? Maybe get,
I can talk to Patrick.
okay,
What am I talking to him about?
the same letter for the resort.
Okay.
See if see if Patrick can get the letter for the resort side and agreed upon.
What, I missed what Brett said. What did he say about where we were with Carl? Was that?
Said he
talk
was
about that?
working
He's
on
not-
it. He
he's
was
not
after
out there.
Monday.
I'm sorry, what?
He was after Monday. Yeah.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, so-
Cause I opened up a PO for him, so, yeah, I just hadn't heard anything since. So, okay,
Yeah.
And so just to clarify, I'm just gonna get the letter to Patrick, right? We're not asking Patrick to write the letter,
Right.
right?
If,
No, the
Yeah.
resort needs to write the letter. A letter stating that they're in, right? Is that
right,
right?
you have a copy from before?
I should, I know I have one from CS Ranch. I'll look
Okay.
for the resort.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe I do. I wasn't the one that talked with the resort last time, so, but I'm pretty sure I have one.
Yeah, if you have one, maybe we could just read it and go up.
Okay.
It seemed like the one that you had sent one out.
Did I? Okay.
Just from CS Ranch.
Oh, okay.
But they were wanting some concessions in exchange for.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't just, we're letting you go across, it was like, for us letting you go across, we want the
Yes.
village to grant some other access down
From,
to 434.
we'll take that out of the letter and
So,
hope they don't.
yeah. Yeah.
Cause that was in there, yes, I know.
No, but anyway, I guess I'm a little still, you can get these old letters. And so what's the next, once you get the old letters, what's the next, cause
He talked about, Brett talked about the village, he wanted them like draft new letters to then give to legal counsel.
Well, the legal counsel would be like the deed that was removable, like, that's the legal side of it, actually, for the reporting side of, you know, getting actual legal easements.
I also thought the,
To also reflect, pedestrian.
Okay, cause I guess I was a little confused. He was using the term memorandum of understanding. I thought there was a document in between getting the actual easements recorded and just getting an agreement by the parties that they were gonna allow easements.
I forgot about just the letter. The letter would suffice for the, grant, or, you know, the Trails Plus grant, so.
Sean,
That works, that
there's
will expedite it.
There's probably three pieces. One is there's a letter committing that says that CS Ranch is willing to provide a recreational use trail easement across their right of way for trail purposes. The second is gonna be the legal easement piece, and the third piece is the MOU on operations of this section of trail, who closes it, when, how it's open, how it's managed, who manages the trail, that we repair the damage if the cattle damage it, those kind of things go into the MOU. That's the third piece. So the first one, just this letter is, I think, is what our key issue is right now. That's what you gotta prove to the state, that this landowner is willing to play with us, to put a trail across it.
Yeah, I think that'll suffice also for this first go, yeah.
So we get the old letters and then we just try to get, like you can see us ranch.
Yeah, I mean, we
Basically redate
can
it.
even like just read, yeah,
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 Is
change
it short?
it and say, hey, can you sign this?
and, you know, they meet once a month, and to discuss things, so.
We have.
So, yeah, as a family, so, yeah, I mean,
that's cool.
we hopefully we get them in December.
December.
Yeah.
The early December meeting.
Maybe we gotta submit some pictures of where it's gonna cross.
Well, yeah, some of what you,
Yeah, we have that, but maybe even showing you know, version so they can see it and, what the case might, that would help them as well, if they're not gonna go out there and look at it now. Anything to help them understand exactly what we wanna do would be helpful to that, present to their family.
well, and they're aware of it from the past presentations of it
Yeah.
too, so it's not new.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Same owners or different owners?
Oh, same owners,
I just,
yeah, same family. Bruce remembered it from back in 2019, is that what it
And I
was?
wasn't the one that talked to him either.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
okay.
they're familiar with.
Okay, very good.
All right, are we good on this agenda item? Cool, then moving on to item number 3, develop a comprehensive list of issues, challenges, and opportunities for recreation and trails, which inform the village comprehensive plan project. You had said that we have a hard 1 hour stop today, right?
Yeah, because we have a larger tax meeting at 10.
Okay, gotcha, so we got, let's call it 25 minutes.
Yep. I think that's good. So, I think we'll do this the same way we did last time. We know a lot of these, but we want to capture it all, because as we go through the comprehensive plan, and for us, if we ever decide to revise a trails plan, we need to have a basic understanding of issues, opportunities, and challenges. Challenges, for example, could be there's not enough staff to do what we need to do. Opportunities could be skate park or pump track or whatever it is, an opportunity, or hosting cross-country running events in town. What are those opportunities? So we can look at it from both sides of this thing, from, you know, opportunities being heads in beds and more opportunity, more recreational amenities. What do you want to do at the community center? So we're gonna do the same exercise we did last time with sticky paper and markers. Write legibly and large. We're gonna put them up on the wall here and then collect everything we can think of right now. And so Chris and Elliot, if you've got ideas, you can pop those out and we'll write them down and put them up on the wall. And go from this for another, 20 minutes max, and then we'll review what we got, maybe faster than that, how we populate this.
Would it be helpful to kind of work backwards, to start with our opportunities and then find issues that would prevent us from getting those instead of just like listing issues in general? Start with,
I think you just.
these are our opportunities
I
and
think
this
we
might
put
stop.
anything comes to your mind, so
Okay.
there's a brainstorm popcorn exercise, and then we'll massage it and figure it out
Okay.
and put it into a narrative, but at this point, there's an issue that I can't get across the street.
Gotcha.
Whatever those items,
Okay.
capture
Got
everything, whatever comes into your head, so there's no, sometimes I think having that kind of structure limits the
Fair.
brain from thinking out loud. So, everyone clear on the exercise? And of course, you're participating as well in this activity, so we're looking, we're gonna put stuff up on the wall. And if you start seeing a cluster, great, if not, just put it up there, we'll cluster them later on another time. So we've got markers and, some flip chart paper or sticky paper, couple of sheets here. And whatever you've heard of or know of that we need to capture.
Oliver, did you get some paper? Yes, sir.
I mean, you could at the top right, whether it's an opportunity or a challenge, at the top, but that would help. You
Okay,
could put it
later,
on top, yeah, maybe put issues.
and probably one per.
Yeah, one per sticky.
Issue?
So here's an example, I have an issue, I listed as issue, I'm gonna call it lack of connectivity in town. Is my issue.
Oh, well, you just took mine then.
Well, that's okay, write it up there. That's why we're all gonna keep it, we're just gonna put it up here, and if you see something that's similar, group them together on the wall. You can write a bunch down and then move them up there, it doesn't matter how you do the process, but we're just gonna collect stuff.
What's that?
Oh, this there.
Almost had my payday.
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah. Take just
I was
enough.
so close. So close to an early retirement.
I feel like I'm kind of messing the system up here, but I have a bunch of things. Can I get somebody to write them down for me?
Absolutely. Ready
So I
when you
guess
are.
under connectivity, we need to connect Coyote to Cougar someday. That to Coyote, both fantastic trails, a long ways apart from each other. Nothing between them, no trails between them. I'd love to have a hill climb race up in Enlightenment someday. That's a heads and beds situation.
I got the next one.
We need to complete a trail all the way up Power Line. So we've done some, we've worked our way up at Partway, but we have not made it all the way up there. It'd be great to go all the way up to Apache Pass.
I got that one. Complete a trail up power line to Apache Pass.
Yeah, and by the way, I think the resort already owns Greenbelt there. So anyway, and then the last one would be there's a sort of incomplete trail from Vale Loop down to the Oesta Vista area. And it'd be cool to actually complete that because there really isn't a lot of trails that come from that side of the mountain over to the golf course side.
Can we get that last one?
Yeah, so
I got it.
there's sort of a trail from from Vale Loop down to the Oesta Vista area.
So formalize trail from Vale Loop down to Oesta Vista.
There you go. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
That's
Can you add a kind of a general one, national forest access?
I've got that down, Chris, already.
Okay, thanks.
It kind of like snakes in. But does it? I wrote it. No way, because.
Chris, any ideas from you?
You go up that steep section. It's a national forest.
So national, I got national forest boundary. Next, anything else?
I've got,
There's,
Okay.
there's that super steep. Yeah.
I did, I would like a couple places.
I mean, I know
But you
that
can
section.
see that where people.
Right, that kind of scree filled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make it nice, actually. Yeah.
So were we all thinking about both recreation and trails related? Okay.
Think so.
Got a few more minutes. We'll review what we got. Oh, more ideas might come.
I guess maybe another one would be something on the order of what would be the ideal financial and staffing support for, for trails and recreation from the village perspective, I guess.
Could you repeat that one more time, Chris?
Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud about what would be the ideal staffing and finance support for recreation and trails for what we're looking for. Do we need to add more staff or more dollars?
I have that as a challenge, coordinating various funding partners and sources. Is that the same thing?
Sounds good.
Okay. Good. Should have a lot better.
So, lots of issues.
Okay, how we doing on this? Should we start reviewing what we got? Probably, yeah.
We got, 10 minutes.
Okay,
Oh, no, I can't see.
all right, so let's start with, let's just pull one out. And if, for issues, ownership of the trails, for example, is an issue. Where else we see that one on the wall? Right out there, other places, ownership issue there. Environmental responsibility, good, anything else?
Would, trying to create that, walkable connectivity in town, would that fall under ownership issues as well?
No.
Okay.
That'd be a separate topic. Hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna read them all first, so we have an idea. So we have opportunity hill climb race, uphill enlightenment. We have opportunity cross country track meets. Opportunity skate park hump track, opportunity ice skating rink. Opportunity skate park, youth programming, engaging youth in practical skills, based learning. Have an opportunity, YCC summer trail tour. Put that one up there. So someone write that down for me.
What is it?
Youth Conservation Corps,
YCC.
Youth Conservation Corps Summer Trail Cruise. Opportunities, marketing, recreation. That needs some clarification. What do we mean by that one? Marketing and recreation.
As far as getting the information out.
Okay.
I put that.
Podcast or some sort of information.
Which would be a visitor center
That sounds like
overlap, guys back there listening in.
getting the word out, getting people to come here once we
Okay.
have it.
Hill climb event, did you hear that one?
What was it?
A hill climb event, enlightenment.
Got an idea on one of those?
Pay attention up here.
I'm selling you.
Disc golf opportunity for cement or asphalt trail. Where is that? That's, where's that? Where is that? Can you think anywhere just have?
Well, even the new one that we're putting in, I just somewhere where like, for like rollerblading or like electric scooter or,
Okay,
I don't know.
okay, got it.
Anything for those.
Rather than the sidewalks. Okay, we have a, challenge of trail maintenance, challenge of money and dollars, issues of kiosks. Pedals, picture frames,
Pedestals,
pedestals,
yeah, and then they got some with that other
Okay.
picture frame with that and hanging on trees,
okay,
so. All those.
the pedestals, we call them books on a stick,
Okay.
yeah.
Books on
Minimum staff available, so we've seen that a couple places here too, money, dollars. Connect Coyote to Cougar, like I'm connected in town. Create walkable town from resort to core and to lake. Issue safer ped crossings on North England Farm Road and 434. Towns managing all parties through
Change of
change
leadership.
of leadership. Good. And that aligns with one I had, which was thinking about a broader Moreno Valley Trails Alliance. Long-term, and not just a small committee, but an alliance. Issue lack of formal e-bike policy and signage, lack of parking at Lady Slipper. Outdated signage at kiosks, challenge of skate park, winter activities. Building barn covered facility.
This is kind of an opportunity and a challenge.
So we need, we're saying we need a winter activity thing.
So we
Something
do,
covered.
when we've been discussing the skate
Yeah,
park,
yeah.
there's been some discussion between, obviously we're gonna build something outdoors, but the season is relatively short. Is it worth building a building that you can use all year round?
So like, kind of like the BMX thing in Albuquerque that's covered.
Probably, I haven't actually seen that one, but I would imagine
It's huge, I think, down near the airport somewhere, or the athletic field, ball fields, yeah.
Of course, people hang up their bikes and grab their snowboards.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but.
Okay, lack of formal access points to LA Parker Village. Getting the word about what we have and bringing people here, that goes over here with the marketing idea. Lack of pedestrian trail and community center, very good. I think I got everything here. So over here, opportunity creating a broader Mountain Valley, Moreno Valley Trails Alliance, opportunity of trail. Activities and soccer events. Trail connections, okay. ACTA involvement. Completed trail. Power line throughout, complete a trail of power line to Apache Pass. Opportunity to solo trail, opportunity is formalize a trail from Vail Loop to formalize the existing trail from Vail Loop to Osta Vista. Create a trail plan to prioritize all of our ideas. And then the Discovery Trail, plate pocket ideas on Frank Young Trail near Liberty Park. And then ownership of trails and identify trail responsibility. Anything else that pops into mind since we had this conversation? We got everything? We have staffing issues up here. Okay.
I do have one more. I guess,
Yeah.
If we're doing wish list, the bottom part of Coyote just ends not near any other trail. I'd love it if we could connect the bottom part of Coyote, Cougar, the bottom part of Cougar to Bobcat. I do that on my own, but there's not really any good trails there that connect those two sections.
Matt, did you capture that one? Okay, thank
So
you.
Cougar to Bobcat.
It would also be, to look at the development of the softball fields on the 2-year plan.
Right down. Softball fields or the Allen Field in general?
The Allen Fields.
Okay. Anything we didn't get, what else is popping in people's heads? A few more minutes on this. We're gonna wrap up in 7 minutes. The road.
I didn't hear about, Allen Field's access to 434.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I got it.
Matt's got that, Chris, thank you. Okay, anything else? All right. So, we've got to kind of group these together, the next step for this, and then, probably put in some kind of categories on recreation and, trail management issues, funding issues, and kind of put those together and put this in sort of a brief bullet format.
Kind of similar, just.
So, yeah, similar to that.
I'll go ahead.
You want to do that again on this one? Try to organize these?
Just take pictures, organize them. Get some kind of.
Okay, I think you should be able to see that.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So Tim's action lead on that is to, combine the stickies. And come up with a kind of a narrative on this, and then we'll be asking for a view from you guys on this part of the problem. So the next piece then is gonna take this and turn it into just goal statements for us. Cause this is how we will move forward on that. And if we do a trails plan, we've already got the issues and goals established for us, so it's easier to go through the strategies and that action items that we need to go down the line. Okay, helpful, that work, process wise? Okay, if you have other ideas, you can reply to the email I sent out yesterday, day before, and just, post them in there. Or if, Tim shares out a Word doc, I think it's okay if we do edits in that Word doc and do track changes to add stuff to it for a couple of weeks, at least at the end of the year on this one. Okay? Thank you. I'll take all the pins back for our next time we use this. Just.
Send everything down.
Sticker sheet.
All right, so we got 4 minutes, we can wrap up.
Not read those real quick. We're gonna share a thing pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Ken, go ahead. We'll leave them up there for minutes.
Yeah, we're done.
Definitely this section.
Okay.